What if the greatest danger to your faith isn't persecution, but distraction? The Apostle Paul writes something almost shocking to Timothy. Remember Jesus Christ, 2 Timothy 2:8. Think about that. Timothy was a pastor, a disciple, a man who loved Jesus deeply. Of course, he hadn't forgotten Christ in his heart. But Paul wasn't worried about Timothy's devotion, he was worried about his focus. Under pressure from culture, false ideas, and endless arguments, Timothy was drifting, not into obvious sin, but into something far more subtle, preaching around Jesus instead of about Jesus. That's why Paul warns him to avoid empty talk and distractions that sound spiritual but drain power. 1 Timothy 6:20, 2 Timothy 2:16. Does that sound familiar? Today we're drowning in noise. Trends change by the hour. Social media tells us what to care about, who to be outraged at, and how to define ourselves. Even faith can become self-centered, about my success, my healing, my purpose, until Jesus becomes a supporting character instead of the center. And without realizing it, our eyes drift away from the one we're told to fix them on. Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. Hebrews 12:1-2. Here's the danger. When secondary things take the spotlight, we quietly push aside the one who is the first and the last. Revelation 22:13. And when Jesus is no longer central, the power of our faith fades, because the power was never in methods, movements, or moments. It was always in him. So let me ask you this. If the Apostle Paul were writing a letter to you today, not to the church, not to the world, but to you, would he write the same words? Remember Jesus Christ. And if so, what in your life has tried to make you forget?